A poem from the Navajo Indians of North America. Beauty is before me, and beauty behind me, above me and below me, hovers the beautiful. I'm surrounded by it. I am immersed in it. In my youth, I'm aware of it. And in old age, I shall walk quietly the beautiful trail. In beauty, it is begun. In beauty, it is ended. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the South Fork. As Unitarian Universalists, we come together in worship each week to honor what is of worth, to celebrate the grace and abundance that surrounds us. In this hour, we pause the everyday rush and flow of our lives in reverence and thanksgiving to connect with what is sacred, to remember our commitments to each other and the world. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your life's journey, whatever your name for the sacred, you are very welcome to bring your full self here. I'm Caroline Doctorow, and I'm a member of this congregation, and I'm happy to be your worship associate this morning. Today's guest speaker is Denise Silva Dennis. Denise is a multidisciplinarian artist, an educator based at the Shinnecock Nation in Southampton, New York. She graduated from Hamilton College with a BA in studio art and a minor in sociology, and is certified as a New York State teacher in both education and art. She holds a master's degree from Dowling College and is currently the workshop coordinator and beadwork instructor at Ma's House, a biopic art center founded by her son, Jeremy Dennis. Denise also presents her Shinnecock culture through her artwork, which includes life-size figurative paintings, historical murals, beadwork, regalia, talking sticks, dream catchers, and other artifacts. Her artwork has been shown at Southampton Art Center, Ma's House, Southampton African American Museum, BIPOC Show, Long Island Museum at Stony Brook, and the Long Island Children's Museum at Garden City. In addition, Denise painted, I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly and you'll help me if I get it wrong, Wunu Oke, The Return to Good Ground, a 2-story mural as a parish art museum 222 roadshow artist. 2 of Denise's paintings, A Hole in the Sky and Medicine Woman at Shinnecock Hills, were featured at Gracie Mansion in celebration of Women's History Month in 2024. Her presentation today is titled Weaving Worlds of Spirit and Direction, and it's inspired by a painting from Weaving Worlds, which was featured in an exhibition at Stony Brook University. Today, she'll explore the teachings held in the 4 directions, the medicine wheel, and the figure at its center. Together, we consider how indigenous languages and symbols call us toward harmony, responsibility, and connection. Our musicians today are Magan Chaskey with special guest Steve Shaughnessy. Our tech host, Carl Wittenberg. And if you're joining us on Zoom, you have access to closed captioning. You can also find a link to today's order of service in your Zoom chat. Here in the meeting house, we have hearing-assisted devices and closed captioning if that's helpful to you. So please silence your other devices. Whether you're joining us in the meeting house or from your home, we invite you to settle into this sacred hour free from distraction. And do we have any visitors today that would like to introduce themselves? If you're visiting online, please sign our guest book. We'll have announcements at the end of the hour, so for now, please take a moment now to greet your neighbor at the meeting house and online. Yeah. Thank you, Magan and Steve. That was beautiful. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of life we share together. Please join us for hymn 1066 in your teal hymnal, O Brother Son, and Steve and Magan will. Here we go, hymn 1066.
We're going to play this through first. We're going to play this through first so you can hear the melody in case it's new to you.
Wait, go back to chance item. Did we do the chance item? We did? Oh. Okay, I'm way off on it. Sorry.
Find the hymn and sing with us.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Thank you again. Beautiful. I thought I would take a minute here and read some thoughts my father jotted down in an essay from a collection called Reporting the Universe. And here he talks about religion in his family when he was growing up. My parents were first-generation Americans born in New York City. It was their parents who, as young people, as yet unmarried, arrived separately, not at Ellis Island, but at Castle Garden in the 1880s, having immigrated from White Russia, now called Belarus. My father's father, Isaac Doctorow, was 20 when he arrived in 1885. He had come over in despair of the life that faced him in Russia, the ever-present murderous whimsy of the pogromists of the time, and more closely and stultifyingly, the rabbinically run village life that demanded fealty to what seemed to him arbitrary ancient proscriptions to induce catatonia, and which offered absolutely no practical means of answering to the poverty and slavery and degradation delivered by the Russia world outside the shtetl. Normative Judaism was neither life nor hope for my grandfather. It was praying your way to death. At any rate, when he was settled in New York, ensconced on the Lower East Side, and apprenticed to a printer, he immediately enrolled in a class of socialism taught by a well-known legal scholar of the time, Morris Hillquit. And at the conclusion of the course, he was rewarded as class valedictorian with the gift of an unabridged dictionary. By the time I was old enough to know him and think about him, he was elderly and living in the Bronx, a gentle, slim, and handsome man with fine white hair. I. Doctorow was the way he signed his name. He was a retired printer, a chess player, We played chess when I visited, and a voracious reader with a library that I was always invited to dip into. Books in English, Russian, and Yiddish. I have mentioned his gift to me of his copy of Tom Paine's Age of Reason, that still deliciously eloquent analysis of the Bible's inconsistencies, contradictions, and fantasies, not for Paine, the intricate and imaginative work of the Midrash. It was something of a mysterious coincidence when 150 years after Paine's death, my wife and I bought a house in New Rochelle, New York, that turned out to stand in what had been the apple orchard behind Paine's home there in the 1800s. As we sat playing chess, my grandfather Isaac was an island of sweet calm amid the maelstrom of activity going on around him. This maelstrom was my grandmother Gussie, a tiny, sprightly woman who wore her hair in a crown of braid and who, unlike her husband, was devout in her belief. She had come over from the same village in the Minsk district. They had known each other casually in the old country and had found something more going on between them only when they lived near each other on the Lower East Side. She was living with her widowed mother when he courted her. Gussie Doctorow was rigorous in her observances, kept an impeccable kosher household, and went off to sit upstairs in the synagogue every chance she had. Her great complaint was that in her lifelong arguments about religion with her non-believing husband, he could quote the Bible more accurately than she. And of course, skeptic or not, Isaac came to my bar mitzvah and sat there beaming as I read my passages, which, by the way, in the manner of bar mitzvah preparation in the Bronx at those days, I didn't understand a word of it. The Hebrew being taught by rote for memorization with no concern of what the words meant. My father, David, was the second of their three children, and in life, my own father and mother, this same male-female dynamic prevailed. My mother, Rose, was a musician like her immigrant father before her. As a girl, she played the piano for silent movies to earn money for her lessons. She and my father met as teenagers, and after they married in the 1920s, they liked to spend their evenings in Greenwich Village, when it was a bohemian quarter alive with poets, actors, musicians, and radicals of every stripe. But as they grew older and as life became harder, this was the Depression, and my father by then was a struggling owner of a music shop. My mother became active in the sisterhood of local synagogue, and every Friday night she lit the candles and put her hand over her blue eyes and said the blessing and threw in a few silent prayers for good measure. My father never went near the synagogue. He believed, like his father, that the problems of earth must be solved on earth and that religion must not be used, as it had been historically, as a means of persuading people to live with the misery of social injustice. It's my belief that the profound incompatibility of opposing ideas expressed in all the complex love flowing to a child of that family was a necessary condition of the child's creativity. He would mature having combined within himself the secular humanism and the impulse to reverence of the male and female lines of his elders. I think of it as a spiritual sort of alternating current wherein, never at rest, I swing constantly back and forth from one pole to the other. This is a serendipitous arc for a writer's mind. It describes the less than comfortable state of freedom. As the son of my fathers, I am non-observant, a celebrant of the humanism that has no patience for religion, imagination, that asks me to abandon my intellect. but as the son of my mother's, I'm unable to discard reverence, however unattached to an object, in recognition that a spontaneously felt sense of the sacred engages the whole human being as the intellect alone cannot. Thank you. May your roots grow deep, may your branches spread far, may you find the world to be a wonderful place and leave it better for those who follow. And now we invite anyone to come up who has a joy or concern. And in the meeting house, please come up to the microphone. And if you're joining us online, please raise your hand or indicate in the chat, and our host will unmute you and spotlight your. We know that not all of our joys and concerns are shared here on Sunday morning. Our Care and Connection team works to stay in touch with those in our community who are in need of a little extra care. If you are in need of a little extra care, or you know someone else who could use a visit, a phone call, a meal, a ride, please use the Joys and Concerns link in your chat or your order of service to leave a note for our Care and Connections team, and someone will follow up with you. I invite you to a meditation in 3 parts, silence and words and music. And during the music meditation, you're invited to come up and light a silent candle if you feel like you would like to do this. Thank you. I would like to invite Denise up. Stand to the side.
Good morning. In the Algonquin language where I'm from, Akwe means hello. And we have friends here. So friends already know through Shanigan, Akwe. So it's good to be here among friends and with new friends as well. So the Algonquin words are Akwe Nintampak, so that means hello, friends. We've been talking about listening, about different languages, whether it's Hebrew, Latin. So today you're going to learn a little bit about Algonquin as well. So in our language, Wune Wuntampa means good morning. Denise Ka Widamo Natisawis is my name. Silva Dennis Nichapayawunk is my last name. Shinnecock Ka Hasanamisko Nichapayawunk are my nations, and Shinnecock Natap is where I live. I also want to take this time, wherever I go, whether it's a church or a museum or a meeting hall, it could be in the city, it could be somewhere on Long Island or in the school. After teaching for 20 years in Southampton, I always like to wear my regalia. That's what I have on today. And a lot of people ask questions about that. So I was taught how to do the speed work by the elder women of my tribe. Both tribes, actually, Shinnecock and Hassanimisco. That's where my dad is from, a nation up in Massachusetts, and my mom was from Shinnecock. It was so unusual because I'm replacing someone who's supposed to be here today. So my good friend Heidi called and was telling me, I'm looking for someone. So then it went from Heidi to Sue to Caroline, coordinating everything. But it's no chance that I'm here today because I see someone, like I said, surrounded by many friends. And Caroline, when you were doing the poem from the Navajo Nation, part of it was called In Beauty Is Begun. And that was a title from my very first really professional showing of my artwork. And it was for Native American youth. And there were two paintings that toured at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. They went to Smithsonian Institute with many other Native American young children. I was 12 years old at the time. So as soon as you said, in beauty it is begun, I knew this is where I was supposed to be this morning. Because the Spirit has a way of telling you where you're supposed to be. So I brought along a painting that I did last year, and it's called Nanumiu, Sowaniu, Wampaniu, and Wuksaniu. And it symbolizes our words, north, south, east, and west. So many things are in a circle. Today we're even in a half circle. The way Shinnecock people and people of the Northeast, including my father's tribe, lived in a round wigwam. Songs today, beautiful songs, have been about the sun and the moon and the earth. So all part of nature. And this symbolizes life's journey, starting in the east, where the sun comes up, the rising sun. So that symbolizes when you're first born, could be reborn into this earth. And then Sawaniu is to the south, and that is when you're growing up, learning lessons of life, still pretty young, and your parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and the rest of the family is taking care of you, helping to raise you. And then adulthood is to the west. And in our way of life, a traditional way of life and thinking, the west is where our spirits go. Once life has done, the lessons that we've learned, to the west. And actually, on Shinnecock, our most important area is called Sugarloaf. And on that highest hill in Shinnecock Hills is where there's at least 10,000 of our ancestors are buried there. And we were just recently able to reacquire that with the help of Peconic Land Trust, Neomuk Land Trust and Graves Protection Warrior Society, and also the Southampton CPM. And friends, I must say. There's a lot of friends here who came out and helped us. Let people know, we're still here on Shinnecock, and we still care about our people who are buried in Shinnecock Hills. And once we've learned our lessons, if we are able to make it to aged wisdom, then that's on top. And the white symbolizes the snow that covers Mother Earth and keeps us all warm, hopefully, in the wintertime. And it also symbolizes those are called the sacred colors. And so it symbolizes the main races that are found. And if you notice, I tried to make everything as equal as possible because that's balance. And I noticed that that is part of the UU message here. Unitarian, a universalist with your mission about the health of the earth and about balance, and no one's excluded from here, and really against oppression. So that kind of symbolizes a balance. If everyone has something to say, then you listen. You don't have to agree with it, but you can have that conversation to always have peace and harmony, and humility is so important, and that comes with wisdom. I also loved O Brother Sun as well, and that connects directly with this poem that one of my cousins wrote many years ago. And I was just reading it on the way in. I was referring to it because it had, from one of our powwow programs, it had the meaning of the 4 sacred colors of, it says man here, but I'm going to change it to humankind for everyone. So it's called, it was by Margot Thunderbird Hill from Shinnecock, and she's no longer with us, so I think I'll probably light a candle in her memory. Rising sun, our grandfathers and grandmothers praised the day with your arrival. Countless days and countless morning skies, your shining light gave life to countless generations of my people. Your constant rays connect us with the past and give us promise of the future. Our children find the rhythm of their lives guided by your warmth and grow strong in your days. Like a never-failing father, you tend Mother Earth and endless broods of her children, ever watching in your journey through the skies, you touch us all. And before you move to other lands, your radiance from the west bathes the sacred grounds in beauty, where our dead are laid to rest. Rising sun, in you the old and new unite. I wanted to add that to today's lesson. And also another important part, there's a turtle in the middle of that. And it's also called a medicine wheel or sacred hoop. Sometimes the colors are in different directions, but that's the way that I have been taught through Shinnecock. But of course we have, especially during our powwow time, as many other Native people who come to visit our reservation, sometimes they ask them, they say, oh, well, the black side is supposed to be on the west side, and the red side's supposed to be on the southern side. But different nations, interpret it in different ways. And that's okay, as long as it's that sacred hoop. At least to me, that's okay. Because it also is a symbol of the 4 seasons. As I said, the stages of life. It can incorporate also the sacred medicine when we have our ceremonies, which are also 4 main ones, which is sweetgrass, tobacco, cedar, and sage. It could also be a symbol of a spiritual life, emotional life, intellectual, and physical. And it could also reflect the animals. Namely, you'll see eagle, bear, wolf, deer or buffalo, depending on what region that you're in. But of course, in our whales or our symbols, sometimes the whale is also incorporated. But when you see someone wearing those 4 colors in their regalia, then you will know that that is part of what they hold dear to themselves in their regalia or in their beadwork. With going back to the turtle, that's part of our creation story. And again, it could be a little bit different depending on which nation that you're from. But to our nation, there was once a giant turtle. It was all alone in the waters. And one day, the earth opened up and caused the sky to open up. And this woman fell from the sky, because there's a story about creation with the sky world woman. And she fell to earth. And she was about to just crash, into the water. There was no land or anything. But birds came and saved her. And they put her on the back of the turtle's back. And they became friends. And as the turtle grew bigger and bigger and bigger, the woman, she was all by herself. But luckily, in her bag, she had those 4 sacred plants that I mentioned before. But she also had seeds to grow. So some of them were corn and beans and squash. So she was able to survive on the turtle's back, but there was no soil. So then she had to rely on different mammals that can dive deep into the water, like maybe a beaver or a muskrat, to bring little bits of soil to help her, because she was praying so much. And that's also part of my art. I'm thinking about it more and more. It is a prayer, because unlike, most in Christianity, like on the reservation, I'm also Presbyterian, but, that's for Sundays, or there's certain times of the years when we pray, but for people who observe that natural world, it's every day is a prayer. Every day you're thankful. We do have special times, which is called our Strawberry Thanksgiving, where we pray to the Great Spirit. But I think my husband, he's like the best. He's like every day he's praying for someone or something. So he keeps that tradition. Sometimes I'm so busy, I'm like, I didn't pray today. But he keeps me grounded and to remember. There's no promise for anything. So when we treat each other in balance, that can really make the world a beautiful place to share and be with and have our relationships nice and balanced and healthy. So that's all I really wanted to say today, in bringing the good words from my nation, and just thanking the Creator, and thank you for having me today. Thank you.
Please join us for hymn 1068 in your teal hymnal called Rising Green.
And again, we're going to play the melody through for you.
That was beautiful, thank you. I think we have some announcements now. Where's Sue? Oh, there you are.
Sorry. I know. It's a little show and tell today. This is the board's monthly report, and we're doing lots, but I'll just highlight a couple things. David Holstein wants to express his thanks. He had reached out a couple weeks ago for us to take part in a letter writing campaign, which we did with Kent's help. And it was to support the asylum seekers who are, the new administration is trying to get their right to work taken away as they wait for their case to come forth. So 4,691 letters were written to try to delay the process. They have to read every one and categorize them. So good job, for all of those us who took part in this campaign. Our new board members, Kent Martin and Stu, are going to be at our meeting Tuesday night here. And Stu's going to shadow for a couple months, and we'll begin in July if you vote for him. So, and Kent will immediately take a seat, so we're so happy to have them. The new Legacy Circle was launched last week, and we have more papers if you've lost your declaration of intent. If you do fill this out by Memorial Day, we will have your name put on this plaque. I understand that's Carl's job, So this will be done by the annual meeting. And you really should look at this plaque. Mark Potter made it years ago. It's gorgeous. And we hope to fill it up with names for those who will remember us in their will. And then on May 17th, we're planning a discussion after service on GA. I am going to be a delegate. I think Key is in the wings. If someone else would like to step forward, that would be just fine. GA, which we are very proud of our minister. Kimberly was elected, as I'm sure most of you know, to be co-moderator of GA. It's a very big deal. It's like next under board president of the UUA. So she will be very involved. There are ways you can tap in without registering, not many. We will see the service June 21st, I believe it is. The Where speaker, that highlights somebody that we're grateful for in the world, is, I forget her name, it's like Beadle. She's the Episcopalian minister who stood up to Trump in the service he went to the weekend of his inauguration. Don't miss her. I think this will be really outstanding. One last thing. The board has, with Kimberly's guidance, started a question of the month, which we think is a way of extending our retreat thinking throughout the year. Stu ended up giving us the question for this month: what is our purpose? So these are the cards you can take and fill it in. Give it some thought. We hope to have these collected by the end of the month. What is our purpose? Okay, my time's up. Thank you. Anyone else? John, did you have an announcement?
Just want to remind everyone that at noon we're going to have one of our climate circles, and I have a few thoughts on where things are, and it's not all gloom and doom, but it is serious. And then we're going to talk about things that we might do that would actually be helpful. And so hope you'll find it interesting, and hope you can stay for it.
You'll find other printed announcements in your order of service or the link in your chat. And you can get items that you would like announced to our congregation, to the administrator, by Tuesday of the week that you would like them announced. At the back of the room, you'll find 2 baskets for collections. The blue basket will receive your gifts for the work that sustains the congregation and meeting house, with 50% going to Harley, which Pam explained very nicely last week. The green basket in the back of the room is for the Helping Hand Fund, which supports the congregation's work beyond these walls. A third of the Helping Hand Fund also assists people in need through the minister's discretionary fund. You can also use the QR code in your order of service or the link in your chat. Does someone want to pass the baskets, or you could? Thank you. Do you have a number for this? If you don't, you want to?
Yes. After the chalice.
Why don't we all read the words together for extinguishing the chalice? But not the light of wisdom, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts till we are together again.